What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittany, aka the Peachy Investor. If you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by. I try to simplify all things trading and make it easy to understand whether you are a beginner or just completely overwhelmed with the entire concept. Hopefully my channel will help you. But I am bringing to you guys today a live trade on AMD. So I was trading 0DTE. Yes, it's risky. Life's risky. But I have a stop loss and risk plan management, all that good stuff in place, and I share it with you guys and how I walk through that and not sell too early and make sure that I'm capturing the most amount of gains possible, especially with 0DTE being very, very volatile. So I hope you guys find value in this. If you do, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. But with that being said, let's dive right in. Currently just entered a position on AMD calls. So what I'm looking for is this breakout right here to hold. So you can see we were breaking trend right in here. So I need this level of 105 to hold. So my risk level is low of day, and my target is going to be, my first target is 106.36, which is right here. I can flip these over. Okay, so my first target is 106.36 to the 106 range. So right in here, if we can hold 105 and then start to reclaim micro range, which is just a fib strategy I've created. So this range right here needs to become higher support. Risk level low of day, first target 106.36. And so let's see how this plays out. And yes, I am trading 0DTEs. However, I do have a risk level. You guys heard me say that just then. My risk level is low of day. So my entry is around 25 per contract, and low of day on these contracts is 19. So about $6 per contract. And then let's see what we do. AMD is really, really volatile. We also have Powell speaking, so this could either work in my favor or it can't. So Powell usually sweet talks the market is what I'm betting on. And so if he sweet talks the market and makes everybody super happy going into the weekend, AMD has caught a ton of support recently in this micro range near 105. So that's why I was willing to take a bet that if we can reclaim and hold that range, then I can see a move up to this blue box and my level of 106.36. I'm up about 30% right now, and I really could take profits, but I'm going to try to hold out here. Okay, so this is a really key level because this is top of micro range for me, and we're nearing that purple box, which could act as resistance. I need just a blow through that level. If we start to chop here, I might call it, but this is really key. I need a strong green candle through here, form support over, and then make our way up here. So far, a very, very nice break just using really super basic trend lines. We're seeing a wick against that level so far. I really need some momentum to keep pushing. If we stall out, like I said, I'm going to lose money very quickly. I'm hovering between like 47 to 57% gains, but that can quickly change. Again, my average is 25, and so you can track the contract movement right here. Okay, so one thing that I just checked is SPY is really heavy, but AMD just held very well on that wick, so I'm still in the trade. I went back down to one point to only being up about 28%. Now I'm back up 60%. So I also wanted to do this to show you how quickly 0DTEs move. They are not for the faint of heart, but I did really well this week, and so it's kind of how I treat myself. It is more risky, right? There's definitely more risk associated, more volatility when it comes to playing 0DTEs. But I'm pretty dang confident on AMD right now, which is why I decided to take this trade. As long as we can hold above this candle right here, so that 105.10, preferably 105.10. I don't even want us to touch underneath 105.20 anymore. And at this point, I'm going to go in ahead and have my finger on the trigger. I've got my phone in my hand, and so I can always execute really quickly if I need be, either on my phone, or I can just move my limit sell order down. Another really quick way that I could exit this trade, and one of my favorite ways to do so, is just having auto send on, and then I can easily click on the ladder and then sell at whatever price. So I can move this over and you can see the contract amount. So if I quickly want to exit, I can also just click here to sell my contracts. Just make sure your quantity is correct. So far we're holding support, higher support in micro range, which is a really good sign. I'm still holding strong, but we need to push through here within the next minute or two, or like I said, I'm going to have to just take what I can get. That looks much better. And target still 106.36. I'm up about 73%, 80%. Again, just know that my contract amount is 25 per contract, and we're sitting now at almost 100% because we're moving up to 50. Getting a little nervous here because on a Friday I want to secure profits. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and exit this. Okay, so I went ahead and set a stop. And so I can move it up because I was just getting way too nervous that I was going to lose profits. I mean, I'm fluctuating around 100% in gains, and that drops down to 80% very quickly. So I'm going to move this up as this goes up. So I'm going to go ahead and move this up to 45. And now I'm just following the move. Now I'm up way over 100%. Okay, I'm securing 100%. So at this point, I can make no less than 100% gains. And hopefully we hit my 106.36 target, but I'm completely happy because, yeah, I'm at like 110% right now. But the very least I can secure is 100%. That's why I love moving my stop loss up. It just takes the pressure off, makes me not so nervous. So you can see I actually had my stop loss near 50, but they didn't execute until 48. You can see all of those right there. So I made a little under 100% since they sold at 48 per contract and I was in at 25. So a little less than 100%. And yes, it's still going in my favor, but I'm good. That was a perfect way to end the week. Okay, so when it was all said and done, that call trade on AMD ended up netting me about $4,580. And then I took a second trade. So I was not planning on doing this. I actually broke a rule of mine, which is trading after lunchtime on a Friday. But I had an alert. So if you guys remember me saying early on that I wanted 106.36 to hit, and that was my initial target. So the fact that I ended up stopping out right in here, you can see we got really, really close and we ended up hitting the blue box and coming back down. So I did not catch this short because my alert never hit. So I set my alert right near like 106.33 in case we did hit my target. Then eventually I would like to flip and go short into, you know, back down micro range, right? And that was the opposite side of my plan. So I played the long side and I was looking for the short side. So I ended up actually taking this trade on my phone, so that's why I didn't catch it live, but I do want to walk you guys through it. And so on this trade, I took 105 puts and I ended up making $4,600. And my risk level was way tighter than the one that I took previously because basically I was very aware that I was breaking the rule that I was trading after lunchtime on a Friday and I was trading 0 DTEs later in the day, which just elevates your risk even more. So what I did is I just made sure that my risk level was just super suffocated. I did not care if I got stopped out. I knew that it was more of a risky trade, and so I really, really had a tight stop. So what my plan was is once I saw us hit 106.36, if I saw us reject and make lower highs, I wanted to jump in 105 puts, and that's exactly what I did. So you can see right here, we had a nice wick rejection off the blue box. We started failing near this fib level, and I actually did not catch this move down. It was too quick. I wasn't able to get a good entry. So I reset my alert in case we made a lower high, and sure enough, into the end of lunch, because we were chopping around in lunch here. And one thing that I do follow is I don't trade during lunch. And so that was another reason why I did not take this trade right here, but I ended up taking this one. So what I was doing was looking for a lower high, aka sellers were in control here, buyers were not in control, to go short into this back towards micro range, the 105 level, which was acting as a magnet all day long. And that's exactly what I did. So I took 105 0 DTE puts and I ended up selling right when we hit micro range right here. So I took this piece of the move, and that was $4,600 plus the $4,580 netted me about $9,180 on these two trades, trading 0 DTE contracts. Now we need to talk about a less risky way that you could have traded this, because I hope you guys heard when I said that I use 0 DTEs kind of like a treat. So like if I want to go grab a cookie and kind of, you know, treat myself, it's because I had a really good hard workout or I've been busting my ass that week and I wanted to treat myself. So I treat 0 DTEs the same way. If I've had a really great week and I have, you know, maybe an extra $1,000 I really didn't think I was going to make that week, then I'm willing to do, you know, a 0 DTE play with some size, risking just that amount, right? So it's not putting me in the hole. It's not risking my entire account. It's not going crazy, right? I still have a stop loss. I still have risk management. But let's talk about the person who will watch this and be like, well, maybe I'm trying to get over my gambling habits and I don't need to trade 0 DTE because I just can't seem to follow my stop loss and have proper risk management. They're just not good for my mindset, which I've been there. That's why I don't trade them all the time. I trade them when I feel like I have the ability to financially, but I also only trade them when I feel like I'm super level-headed. So I do completely avoid 0 DTEs if I feel like I'm being a little emotional with my trades. That's something you really need to be self-aware on. But let's talk about a different way you could have traded what I did, but with less risk. So we're going to go to the trade tab and we need to look at further out expiration. So let's just go the next week, right? So you've got an entire week so theta's not eating away your premiums too much. So I was trading the 19th. It was Friday the 19th, if I can recall correctly. Yes, Friday the 19th. So let's look at next week, and then you don't want to go too far out of the money and you wanted to look at what had the highest volume. That's just an easy cheat sheet when it comes to options. So if let's just use the second one, right? Let's say that you didn't get the long play and you were looking to go short at that 106.36 level and you wanted to play it back down to 105. So we're looking at puts. And so let's look at the 105 puts. You can see pretty obvious that's what everybody was trading because of volume. We're going to chart these out and see what they did. So let's move these over. And again, just a reminder, I hope you guys know if you watch my channel, I am not talking about swing trading these. These are day trades only. Short-term expiration, even a week, 2 weeks, swing trading those is extremely risky and you will lose a lot of money. So let's look and see what the 105 puts did for AMD. So I took these at about 12:45 to the 1 o'clock range, so right into the end of lunch to catch that move down. So let's go see what they did. So 12:45 was right in here. So they were at about $1.88, and then they ended up moving. Let's see, I exited around 112. So somewhere in here. So they were at $1.88 and they ended up moving to about 227. You're not going to get a very, spot on exit and spot on entry. So let's just say they moved from like 195 all the way up to 220. That's still almost a 13% gain off of this one move right here. So that is a great scalp. In my opinion, that's more beginner friendly because you can see we did gap up at open, but we still held the premiums on these contracts pretty well. So we were fluctuating several times between $1.90 to 220 to 230, and then in the morning it was even more. I mean, we were at $1.90 up to 240, back down to $1.95 up to 258. So lots of volatility on these contracts with them being a week out. So I would like to say, quote unquote, that that's a less risky way of doing things, and then you just need to make sure that you have your risk level. So let's go back and talk about what I was actually risking and what my reward was looking like, because a lot of times people just don't bother to do the math. They just see 0 DTEs and they think that I'm a gambling idiot, which, okay, that's fine. But let's do the math, because I told you guys in that live trade that I was risking low of day, and the contract low of day was 19 per contract. And so let's bring out the calculator. I had 200 contracts, and this is something I do every single time before I enter a trade. I know what my risk is. I know that if I get in and I am not right, this is what I'm risking. So I had 200 contracts and I was risking $6 per contract. How do I know that? My contract average price was 25. My low of day risk level was 19. So I was going to stop out if we started to break 19. So that means that there was a $6 difference in those contracts. If I had 200 contracts, I'm risking $6 per. That's $1,200 of risk in order to make 4,000 and beyond. We didn't even hit my target and I still made over 100%. So that's a good risk to reward ratio. In my opinion, that's how I do it and it works for me. So you just need to make sure that you are calculating your risk and your reward before you enter your trade, and make sure it's at least a 3-to-1, right? You at least want to be able to make $30 while risking 10. And if that's not the case, then don't take the trade, because it's a crappy risk versus reward ratio. And in the end, you might get lucky a few times, but it's not going to put you up in green in the long term. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. Sorry I wasn't able to catch both of these live, but I try my best when I am on my laptop to catch these trades, and hopefully they provide value for you, or at least that's my goal. Two things I do want to warn you guys about is the WhatsApp commenters down below are not me. Please do not fall for any scams. My only Instagram account is linked in the description box. I will never direct message you. And then when it comes to if you want to work with me further, so I try to post as much free content on YouTube as possible. I also have a free day trading seminar. If you have not checked that out, it'll be in the description box above this link. So it'll be the first link. It says free day trading seminar. Go check that out if you are trying to day trade with a small account, especially options, to make sure you have the correct account type and all that good stuff. But if you guys want to work with me further, I do have a monthly membership that includes my strategies, private lessons, advanced courses, all of that stuff. It's A to Z, so whatever level you are currently at with your trading, complete beginner to advanced, you can jump in wherever you are and find value. And then we have a great community that we go to the markets daily to share content, ideas, all that good stuff, but it is very education focused. It is not an alert service. So I do things differently. Make sure you watch the page, the videos. I explain exactly how I do things. I'm a big supporter of trying to teach people how to fish for themselves and not just allowing you to follow me or anybody else blindly, because you'll never succeed long-term doing that. Okay, that's a wrap. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. And if you found value in this, please hit the like button, share it with friends and family, share it on social media. Maybe other people will find value. And I hope to see you guys back here next week, because I at least try to post a video 1 to 2 times per week, depending on my travel schedule. But yeah, that's a wrap. Thank you guys and have an amazing weekend.